Okay, and Jonathan, what's weird about this opening? What's so different about this one?
Well, you don't like control the center with pawns.
Yeah, but what do you get in return though?
I mean, you get all your pieces out really easily.
Yeah, you get all your pieces out pretty easily. Let's just put it this way. There's not a lot of theory on B3, okay? Like
Yeah.
there's some, okay? I mean, trust me, in chess these days, there's theory on everything. But um, it's a line that is it just gets all your pieces out. And we had a player on our team, Jonathan. Do you remember who plays this?
Yes.
Yeah, exactly. All right. So what's our threat by playing bishop to B5?
Um, we're threatening to take on c6 and take on e5.
Okay. Wow, our opponent just played bishop d6. Now, you don't know this, Jonathan, because you've never studied this. I'm the only chess lunatic that would even learn some of this stuff. But this bishop on d6 is actually one of the main lines. All right, and if our opponent finds the next move, so you know what the best move here is knight a3. So Jonathan, take a guess as to what Black's best move is here. And what's the purpose of knight a3?
Purpose of knight a3 is to play knight c4.
Yeah. So prophylactically, what should Black play to stop that? That I'm giving you a huge hint.
Um, bishop a3.
No,
Oh,
no,
okay.
no, but that would stop it. But what's the other thing? Knight
Knight
a5.
a5. Yeah.
Knight a5 is actually the move. Okay?
Funny.
In the B3 volumes and encyclopedias of history, yes, this is the move. And actually, to be honest, I have no idea what the next move is. But you know what? We're going to go ahead and play knight f3. If our opponent is listening to the telecast, I'm not going to give away any more theory. So we'll see how you do. And if you're coming up with this on your own, congratulations. All right, Jonathan, so we got to move our bishop somewhere. The bishop! Where's it going to go?
Um, ooh, it's not really like any great squares. Probably e2, I
Yeah,
guess.
looks like the only one that's left. But you know what's the problem with this c6 move is? Mr. Knight over here is a little lonely. And now, yeah, so our opponent actually, so he ended up taking this. But the problem is that now, look at Mr. Lonely Knight. What did Tasty Fig forget about?
b4,
Yeah,
trapping.
Tasty Fig, I am so sorry to take your piece. So sorry. Yeah, this is, and B3 is just one of those lines that I have barely looked at myself. I haven't looked at it a lot. Now, Jonathan, what would be a mistake here that I could do with my knight?
Um,
What would allow Black to get
go,
out of this?
if you go knight d4, because I think black would be able to play c5.
Yeah. So unfortunately, we have to play an ugly move here. Now, if knight h4, then he has g5 and he traps our knight like we trapped his knight, right? And
Yeah,
so,
yeah.
and we don't want to go knight e5. Knight g5, maybe h6, knight h3. He might take and stuff. You know what we're going to do? We're going to make the ugly move. We're going to come all the way back, just so we don't give him any extra tempos. And this knight is now lonely by himself.
Mhm.
So yeah, isn't this interesting?
Yeah, it is.
Yeah. Have we played B3 before? I can't remember.
I think once.
Okay, we might have. Okay. All right. Yes, Tasty Fig, I know you want me to take that pawn, but no. All right. And then we're going to save our bishops. We're going to come back. All right. So, Jonathan, we're up a piece, but we're a little lagging in development. Um, any ideas for White here? How White should get out of this or try to open things, or try to get his pieces out?
Maybe I would suggest d4, but it's pinned.
That
So,
would be yes, that's correct. All right. And
well, maybe we could do bishop c3 and then d4.
or D3, right? Maybe.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I think that's a very good idea. It's a way, you try to figure out what you want to play, like Jonathan said. You want to play D3, you want to play D4, okay? But you can't. So what do? You break the pin with tempo, okay? And now we can play d3. All right, so we're going to go ahead and play d3 now. All right, and now we can finally breathe a little easier. That now Mr. Knight on move 16 will be able to actually get out.
Mm.
So, castles. All right, and I guess we get to castle. Jonathan, I can't remember castling later than move. I can't remember castling this late in a game.
Yeah.
Move 17. Remember, this is not. You're not supposed to do this, but of course we're up a piece, so we get a little bit. We get a little bit of a reprieve, and we're allowed to kind of violate the rule a little bit. Okay, so let's go ahead and play knight e5. Let's try to trade off some pieces here. And Jonathan, what would you? How would you? Oh, he's really being aggressive here. What's the downside of taking here?
It leaves us with like an isolated pawn on d3.
Yeah, but what else though? That's minor compared to what I'm looking at.
Oh, I mean, there's a pin possibility on the e-file.
Yeah, there is. But you know what? I have f4, so that kind of saves it. He can't play f6 too quickly. So I'm not too worried about that. We're going to go ahead and play bishop d2. And Jonathan, I'm a little low on time, so I'm going to say, why did I choose bishop d2? Well, you see that square there?
Mm-hmm.
I'm worried that if he plays knight to d5, yeah, so our opponent's definitely going for this. Now, he is threatening f6 here, right?
Yeah.
So Jonathan, this is a good tactical question. How does white break the pin without losing material, without losing that pawn? So that's your question. You have actually two ways to do it. One's active, one's actually they're both active.
I think one of the ways is queen h5 because
Good.
if he plays f6, he's going to lose, right? To queen f7.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Good.
And if he takes on e5, then you take back, and if he takes, and the pawn on e5 is defended, and you're threatening queen f7 still.
Good. Yeah, I think that's good analysis again. And again, you want to be when you see pins like that. I just anticipated that pin because I saw it coming. So you have to plan for that. And I think queen h5 is a really good move to break that pin. Good job. All right. And so if g6 now, if the queen moves, well, they're threatening to still win this pawn, right? So the other move that we didn't really talk about, but I was asking, was queen f3 is the other way. Jonathan, what's the idea here?
It's kind of the same idea where he can't take twice, or he can't take on e5 because you take on f7.
Right. See that extra trick? Or we have this little trick over here.
Oh, yeah, true.
Uh-oh. Okay, so that's not so good. So now we have got, and see what happens when your king gets opened? Okay, now all of a sudden we got Mr. Queen F, we got Queen D5, right? And now what is black? Now black is in big trouble. So Jonathan, why is black in trouble here?
Because his king is way too exposed. If he moves to h8, then you have knight f7. If he moves to f8, then you have queen f7, which is mate. If he goes to g7, then you still have queen f7, but it's not mate, but it's scary.
It's not mate. And then we could take the knight, or I could play rook f3. You see that?
Yeah, rook f3 is better, I think.
Let's just go for it. Let's just checkmate him. Yeah, so Tasty Fig, you encountered kind of a weird line here. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and play rook here, and we're going to go ahead and win the queen. And we got 15 seconds, so I got to make sure I don't talk too much. And taking the knight, of course, now opens up the bishop. I did not plan that. And now Jonathan, what's the clincher? I only have 9 seconds. I only have 8 seconds, 6 seconds, 4.
Queen h7.
Okay, well, good. I didn't hear what you said. I didn't hear what you said. All right. So, yes, You almost made me lose on time. Actually, I wouldn't have lost on time. Okay. Emily Bass, I'm going to give you another chance. Hopefully you're available to play. Yes! Welcome, Emily Basis. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Oops, I got to move.
Emily Basis.
Okay, so Emily Basis, we are going to be playing a game, and thanks, yes, and good luck to you. Okay, so we're going to be playing another E4, E5 line. Jonathan, what line would you like to try today?
I don't know. Let's do Bishop B5.
Bishop B5. Okay, the Roy Lopez. Let's do it. It's not the Roy Lopez, it's the Roy Lopez, but people say Roy because they can't pronounce Rui. So,
Boy.
all right. So this is called the Berlin defense. Not that that people necessarily have to know all these lines and stuff, but we're gonna go ahead and play D3, okay? And this kind of transposes to kind of like an Italian game, right, Jay?
Yeah.
All right. So what would you play here? Do you see the effect of playing D3, and now when Black plays a move like A6, is there something we can do to take advantage of it?
I think we can take on C6 and take on E5 with no repercussions.
Yes, exactly. Yes, we don't want any repercussions, Jonathan.
Well, you know how they have Queen D4 normally. Now they don't. So.
Good. Well, I'm just glad that you used the word repercussions, because that we are educating the chess population right now with repercussions.
Yeah, it's a nice word.
It is. No repercussions.
Yeah.
Okay, so we want a pawn here, and so now we gotta. We're slightly behind in development only because it's Black's turn, and we've each developed a piece. But of course, the trade-off is that we won a pawn. Okay, Bishop B4 check. All right, Jonathan, how would you block this check? What are the options, and what are the potential? Yeah, what are the options?
You have C3, Knight C3, Bishop D2. Those are the reasonable ones.
Okay, reasonable. Wow, you just used reasonable. Wow, you're on a roll with.
What was that? Like
with the chess terminology today? Reasonable. What are you, a lawyer?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Yeah, you can be the lawyer. All right. So what would you recommend for White to block the check?
I think C3 because it gives a tempo.
What's wrong with Knight C3, by the way?
Queen D4.
Yeah. If you guys don't know, I love putting Jonathan through the ringer here. You know, putting him on the spot, making him find all the right answers, and he almost always gets them all right. Right, Jonathan?
No, yeah, every single one.
All right, good. All right. So Knight F3. All right, and so Bishop G4. Okay, we're going to go ahead and castle here. Jonathan, why didn't E5 work?
Because the bishop can just take.
Yep,
right?
the bishop takes it, right? Because it's pinned, right? Because
Yep.
pinned pieces are not defenders, right?
They are not.
Okay, now generally speaking, Jonathan, I always tell people, don't take a pinned piece without being attacked at a minimum. Because you just gave me a free tempo. If Black had made a move, and then White had played H3, for example,
Yeah.
and then Black had taken, Black would have had an extra move by having his rook on E8. Okay? So, all right. So now we're going to go ahead and we're going to keep developing our pieces. Jonathan, any ideas?
Bishop G5 looks nice.
Okay. Yeah, except, oh, you missed a trick. What happens if Bishop G5? It's still probably okay, but what did you miss?
Oh, Queen E5?
Yeah, Queen E5. So let's go ahead and develop the knight first. So we don't, yeah, and it's always a hard question in chess to develop. Do I develop the knight first or the bishop? Which one? Okay. Well, this one, the knight still has lots of options. It can go here. It can go here. The bishop also had options. It could go here, here, or here. So we could have done any of those moves, but I like the knight d4, the knight d2 move because I like putting the knight on c4. I really like that a lot. All right, so our opponent is hoping that we just fell asleep. Okay. So Jonathan,
Yeah.
did we fall asleep?
Um, you know what? We're not going to fall asleep this time.
All right, good. Let's play g3 and put an end to those potential attacks. All right. And now the problem for black is that extra pawn really looms large because Jonathan, what is white threatening here? Are you humming?
D4 and E5. Yeah. I hum during games all the time.
Do you? Okay, good.
Like really loudly.
I was thinking it was my music that you were in love with.
Oh, yeah. It's the best.
All right, so we're going to go ahead and... So, Jonathan, what should white play here? Any ideas?
Any ideas? I have no ideas.
Yes, you do.
Trade on H5, then E5, then G4. Oh, that doesn't win the knight yet.
All right, so if a tactic doesn't work, what do? Change the...
Oh, okay, so trade on H5. It still doesn't work.
Okay, change the move order. You said take and play E5. Change the move order.
E5 right now.
Yeah, E5 right now. If a tactic doesn't work, always change the move order. It's almost always going to work. Well, not always, but it has a really good chance of working. Okay, and Jonathan, now if bishop takes, what happens?
You just take and you still have the fork.
Yeah, exactly. And see, here we have the fork. And one of the bonuses, Jonathan, is that now the knight defends the rook. Why is that relevant?
Because the other way that he could have escaped the pin is to play rook e8, and if he took one of his pieces, he could play rook e1.
Yeah. So see how that knight was pretty good there? So, Jonathan, do we take the knight or the bishop?
You take the bishop, since it's more open and closed.
Okay. I would probably take the knight only because we're going to give him double pawns. And I think that probably cancels out the normally you would rather take the bishop because it's open, but here we're actually giving him a weak pawn. Okay. So let's go ahead. Now it's just a matter of technique. So Jonathan, we just want to trade down, right, into a winning endgame?
Yep.
Okay. So what's the most natural piece that we can trade?
You can trade the rooks. Rook e1.
Yeah, rook e1 trades that stuff off, exactly. And unfortunately, black can't really move. We're going to play king e1 just so I can take with the king. It doesn't really matter. All right, and so now that we're up a piece, now all we're going to do, I think the most effective way to try to win this game, Jonathan, is just to use your king in a fighting way. But here, what we're going to do first is now when they take back, this guy's a sitting duck, right? Because
there's no way for black to defend it.
Right, it's double isolated. We could move the knight over and try to win it, but actually, there's no harm in actually just moving the king up. Although, actually, they could play bishop c5 check, I suppose. But it's just all winning. Well, they just stopped us anyway, so we'll go here. And now, Jonathan, if king f8, what happens?
Then you get knight d7 for king.
d7, exactly. Yeah, and unfortunately, they fell for the trick. They thought we were only going to win the pawn, and now black can't move, unfortunately. And let's stop these pawns from moving.
And you have knight b7.
Yep. Except we're gonna now you see how we control all of these squares?
Oh yeah.
We don't even need to move our knight. Our knight's so well placed, we're just gonna come up and win some material. And now black can't move. And I like stymieing any kind of pawn movement because pawns are tricky to work with and stuff and all that. So, and now, basically, Jonathan, you see how the king is basically stuck? Now we're just going to go ahead and get a queen.
Yep.
And unfortunately, there's no way to get out of this. This is called a squeeze. And we are able to checkmate. Okay, good game, Emily Basis. Thank you for playing. First time. We've had a couple of first timers today. I think, have we played Top Blushing Penguin before?
I don't think so.
All right, Top Blushing Penguin, you are next. God, we have a lot of people on today, don't we? And Leaping Fireman, have we played Leaping Fireman before?
No, I don't remember that name.
Okay, Jonathan, do you have a little extra time today? We can spend to play a few extra people that are on.
All right.
All right, I'm going to stay on past the hour if we can. All right, Stop Blushing Penguin. Or Top, I didn't mean stop. Top Blushing Penguin. Top Blushing Penguin, stop blushing. All right, so we're going to go ahead and just develop all of our pieces here. Good squares, So Jonathan, what would you? So we've developed 3 pieces so far. Black's developed 2. Any ideas here? Have you remember an idea here where you give this immediate check in the opening? Normally for you, your knight is on D2 because you normally play the Tarrasch. But here White actually has this annoying Queen E2 move.
I see.
And what's the idea, Jonathan?
To take on C5.
Yeah, we're going to take on C5, and now they can't take it. Yeah. I don't think it's amazing, by the way, because this is a hard pawn to defend anyway. Okay, so they're forcing us to take. So now, okay, so our opponent is deciding not to castle, and you know that can be a recipe for disaster. So let's go ahead and do this. And so Jonathan, if Black played Knight C6 here, what would you play for White? What would be a consistent move?
Maybe Bishop E3.
Okay, yeah, very good. Yeah, because we're taking advantage of this pin. Still got this pin. And if Black takes this, Jonathan, what happens, of course?
Then we take on D4 with Discovery.
Yeah, with the bishop, right? Because it's check. All right, so okay. So we're going to go ahead and take here. And let's bring a new piece in the game. All right. So now, where do you think? Now do you see what? Well, actually, what's Black? Why is Black in deep trouble here? For like 3 reasons.
Well, he can't castle because he loses the bishop. His queen is tied down to defending the knight.
Okay. What would you play here?
I play Rook E1.
Okay. Can we be more aggressive? I mean, Rook E1 wins a piece, okay? But there's even better.
Oh, Knight D5?
Yeah, and if he castles, what happens?
Then you win the queen with Knight E7.
Yeah, you lose the bishop, but now we get to take with the knight, and then we're able to take the queen. And if they castle queenside, we have the same trick. So yeah, Black is in big trouble. And Jonathan, what if they tried Queen E6 here as a last-ditch resort? Oh, and that's what they played.
Knight C7.
Yeah, unfortunately, when you leave your king in the center, it's really hard to defend all your pieces. And unfortunately, this is one of those where it's a tough position to play. One of the things, remember, you got to follow the rules in chess. Always follow the rules. And Jonathan, you always follow the rules.
Yeah, never failed at that.
Yeah, don't you have a shirt that says I always follow the rules?
Yeah, they gave it to me because I always follow the rules.
Yes, exactly. Oh my gosh, that's funny. All right, so now we have kind of a big threat, Jonathan. What is it?
It's not too big. Queen f7.
Yeah, Queen f7's a biggie. White's only defense is knight, or Black's only defense is knight h3 check, because that's the only move that stops Queen f7. But we just take it back with the pawn. So yeah, so make sure you follow the rules. Follow those rules, please, please, please. And if you guys are listening on the telecast, don't forget to register tomorrow for the tournament, the Invitational. You have a chance to, even if you're not going to be the rep, you have a chance to play against some very strong players. And this is a really unique opportunity. We've got a lot of the really strong players in Arizona are playing in this event. So if you want a chance to compete against some of them and at least have a chance to play some good games, very quality games, this is it. So don't forget to register for it. You can go to sazchess.org, and there's a link that has all the information. And please sign up. The cutoff is I think it's 7 o'clock tonight. So sign up early. Don't wait to the last minute. We really would like your help, everyone's cooperation in doing that, and hopefully we have a really good qualifier event. Jonathan, we said we were going to play Queen f7, but I'm going to play knight to d7 instead. Did you just yawn? You just gave a huge yawn. Oh my gosh. Sorry. All right, let's go for Strong Carrot. He's the highest rated one we get to play. Okay, let's go Strong Carrot. Strong Carrot. If you don't accept, I'm gonna come after you with celery. Okay, yes. Strong Carrot accepted. Yes. Wasn't that a terrible joke, Jonathan?
Yeah, it was.
Like really, really bad. Was it worse than my music?
Not close. Not even close.
All right, we're gonna play Sicilian today. I don't think we've played a Sicilian against Strong Carrot. I think we played a French before. All right, Strong Carrot. Oh, he's coming after us with the open Sicilian. All right, we're gonna play a Najdorf today, Jonathan. So, Jonathan, what's the idea behind the Najdorf? What's Black trying to do?
Black's trying to. I don't know actually. Like maybe develop with. Well, he's trying to stop anything from going to b5 with a6.
Yeah, and Black wants to play b5 and b4 and get immediate pressure on this. Maybe play bishop to b7. So, Jonathan, do you know what this bishop c4 is called? It's not called what ChessKid calls it. That's not what it's called.
Yeah, it's called some Sozin, I think.
Sozin, very good. Oh, and then it switched. Look at that. It switched after we played e6 to a Sozin. Bishop c4 is always a Sozin. I don't know what that L word was, but it's definitely not that. All right, so now we control this square here, okay? And now we're ready to play b5 next turn. All right, so Black's, okay. So we're going to go ahead and play b5. I don't see any reason not to.
Mine either.
And now, Jonathan, we're going to go ahead and play bishop b7. Now, I want you to compare this position versus what we had earlier, where can White sack on e6? Is it the same thing?
No, it's not.
Yeah, it's not, but why?
Because Black is like much more developed than they were in the other game. So they have like king f7 ideas to defend also, and there's no knight d5 ideas.
Good. Well, there is knight d5 if he sacks, right? But it's just not as effective. I think what you said initially was actually the right answer, was the fact that Black is so much better developed. He has more pieces out and stuff. In the other game, Black didn't have that. So, okay. So now, In the Sozin, if you're going to put your knight on d7, typically the knight goes to c5, and that basically kills any sacrifices ever again. And it also puts pressure on this bishop. In the Sozin, white often just gives up, doesn't mind losing this bishop. Doesn't mind losing this bishop because he knows he's biting on granite here. I always call that granite. We're just biting up on a bunch of pawns, as opposed to if this pawn was back, then it would be a little more effective. Okay, so queen e2 is a good move, and maybe white's trying to white's going to try to castle queenside or something and come after us. So knight c5 is now we don't have to ever worry about the sacrifices anymore. Okay, but Jonathan, if white castles here, I guess it's not a threat yet, but it castles queenside here. Do you see the potential knight takes b5 and bishop takes c5 stuff?
Yes, I do. That's scary.
Yeah, it is kind of scary, but does it work? Well, actually, I'll just tell you, it doesn't work, but why? Why doesn't it work?
Mm.
So let's say white was castled and he traded on b5.
Okay.
You see? So let's imagine he's castle and he plays ndb5.
Yeah, looking at that.
Because if AB, he takes on c5, so prophylactic chess tells us what?
Oh, right, yeah. You just take out b3 first.
Exactly. So Strong Carrot's taking some time here. Probably too much time, I would say. Oh my God, look what he's doing to us. Strong Carrot, I thought we were friends. All right, Jonathan, so do we take on b5 or do we take on b3 first? So what's the analysis? If we take on b3, a takes b, and then a takes b on the knight, are we okay there?
Yeah, I don't see anything wrong with that position.
I think we're okay. I was a little concerned about knight takes b3, ab takes, okay? Queen d7 is forced to defend this. Rook takes a8, bishop takes a8, queen b8 check, queen d8, and I was worried that he might be able to repeat with queen b5. I'd either have to move my king, but I have knight to d7, which stops it. So I think that's good enough. I think it's good enough. We'll find out if I'm correct on that. But I think that sack looks a little premature, but I really like the fact that Strong Carrot was looking at something like that, because you need to open up your eyes to possibilities in chess. Okay? Things crop up all the time. They really do. And you gotta look for sacrifices like that. Especially, that's how you beat a good player, is when you find that sacrifice that they weren't anticipating or they think you're not going to do. All right. So here, actually, he gave us a second option, Jonathan. We can take with the queen or the bishop. What's the advantage of taking with the queen?
You threaten queen a1 check.
And
you can play bishop c6 to block that.
That was my idea. Yeah, and now we have the queen, and we still have your idea of queen a1. Now, they still can block with knight to d1, so it's not a disaster for white. But, he did get 2 pawns for it. The problem is it's just not enough. And so now probably best is for white to admit that the sacrifice doesn't work. But I'm really glad that white did look at that, because it's a good way to do it. Okay, interesting. So he's trying to make us not... So if queen a1, Jonathan, you know what he might do? He might play king d2, let us take the rook, and then he might take our bishop and go for checkmate. So what's a nice little annoying move we can play here?
Maybe...
Prophylactically, if he wants us to do something, then how do we take away the sting of his threat? I don't even know if it's good.
Maybe just bishop e7, so we can castle and get away.
You could certainly do that. I was thinking knight d7. I don't like it when their pieces are so close to me like this. Because remember, we don't have to play queen a1. That's just a threat at some point. We don't have to do that. So I think what white's going to play now is they kind of have to play queen c7 maybe? Yeah. And now I think we can just force a queen trade, Jay. Bishop e7 is totally fine too. But again, actually, you know what? We're going to do your idea of bishop e7. And can you see what my idea is after if white castles and black castles? What's black's next move going to be that's quite good?
Maybe you're threatening rook c8.
Yeah, rook c8, and then he has to play queen a7, and that forces a queen trade, right?
Yeah.
And that's what we're happy with. We could have played queen b7 and you know, maybe had a queen trade, but there was no need for it. You know, get your king castle. Don't be obsessed with trading pieces. I have a lot of students in the back, especially back in the day, that they were obsessed with trading pieces all the time when they were ahead. And you know, that's okay normally, but you don't do it at all costs. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So now we can go ahead and trade. We could, although I'm just going to play. Yeah, we're going to trade. All right. And so now, how do we win this game, Jonathan? Because he has two pawns, and he's got these three over here, but we've got the extra piece. So what would you use? What would you do? And we don't have a lot of time, so you got to go fast.
I would just continue improving my pieces with like bishop f6 maybe. Oh, but that hangs a pawn.
No, I'm gonna improve our position by bringing our king into the game.
Okay.
And we're gonna go knight c5. Maybe white will panic and oh criminy, I messed up. Well, okay, this is okay, I guess. Yeah, and now c3 is hanging, and you know, and strong carrot is running out of time here. But now this is good for. Yeah, we're okay here. Rook b1. He found that quickly. But what's our defense, Jay?
I don't see it right now.
All right, rook a2. Because now always look for the pieces that are hanging. Always look for pieces that are hanging in those type of positions. And now we just need to play good chess. Yeah, so good game, strong carrot. You fell for played some good stuff there. It's all right. Good. I really like the fact that strong carrot was willing to sacrifice some material.
Yeah.
To try to go for some stuff. And let's go back. All right, Jonathan, how do we win this?
Wait, what? Okay. No, it's not that hard. I thought he was going to take on f7.
Now, you see why am I bringing my bishop over to the side of the board there? Well, I'm doing it because I'm trying to avoid any kind of stalemate junk.
Yeah.
Good game, strong carrot. Very good game. Oh, Jonathan, we just passed 2,000.
Wow.
Not
nice.
bad. All right, Frozen Earthquake. I know you've been waiting. Sorry, we've had so many people interested in playing today. I'm glad that we got a chance to get a lot of games in today. But these are great games. Let's keep going. All right, so here let's try a John. Let's go for a. How about a Roy Lopez? All right, so this is called the Birds variation of the Roy Lopez, Jonathan. I'm glad that you I hope you were able to learn some stuff here. And now we're going to play this little tricky line, bishop c4. And now it sets up a trick, and he didn't fall for it. The trick was playing bishop c5. So, okay, we're going to go ahead and play e5. Look at our opponent knowing this stuff. Our opponent's playing some good moves here.
Good.
Knowing d5 in a position like that is pretty impressive. I'm not going to lie. Not going to lie. All right, I don't think it's right, but I like the fact that they were so quick on the draw there, knowing. And now we got this annoying queen e2 move check, Jonathan. And I don't think our opponent saw that. So now what are we going to play?
Now we can do queen b5, right?
Yeah, queen b5. Let's trade these babies. And now we have 1, 2, 3, 4. So if we take here 1, 2, 3, so we're up 2 pawn. We're up 1 pawn, but our opponent's playing really fast here.
Yeah, really fast.
Like it was all theory or something. D3. Yep. Now that is a good move from someone that knows kind of what they're doing in some respects. Trying to make this bishop really bad. I like the fact that black is trying this because you see this bishop here. It's not so easy to get it out. And you know what? A common mistake that a lot of players make in these positions? They're scared to sacrifice this pawn. And it's like, it frees you, though. So we're going to play knight c3 first. And if black makes a mistake and plays d4, then this knight can go to e4, and we don't have to sack anything.
Yeah, and we get to play b3, bishop b2, right?
Exactly. We can free the pieces and stuff. But the thing is that when you're up this much material, yes, it's okay. You don't have to be a squirrel and hold on to every single nut in the position. It's okay. You can actually give away a pawn. Okay? Now, the question is, are we going to do that now? Is there any incentive to doing it now? I'm just going to go ahead and do this now. We're going to go ahead and play b3. There's no problem. There's no tricks here. Okay, our opponent our opponent might be pretty good actually, because knowing some of these ideas of trying to mess you up are oh my gosh, except our opponent forgot that there was a piece that was all right. Well, maybe Frozen Earthquake. Frozen Earthquake is thinking that there's a real earthquake and he has to move like instantly here, because this is a little too fast for my tastes.
Yeah, this is like a bullet game.
It is like a bullet game, and I hate bullet.
Oh yeah, the worst.
The worst. All right, we're gonna play Rook G6. We're going to attack some pieces that are undefended. Always pay attention to pieces that are undefended. In all of these lines, you always need to pay attention to pieces that are not guarded, because it really helps you, get out of situations sometimes.
Right.
Okay. Oh, bishop e5. Not a bad move. So let's play rook e1. Jonathan, it's Friday. I have to be in a good mood.
Yeah, I mean, it's a good day.
It's a good day. All right, Frozen Earthquake, what are you doing? All right, we're going to go ahead and we're going to try to deliver some more pain here. All right, Frozen Earthquake, you are blitzing and hanging stuff like left and right. So my advice to you is, especially if you're playing in the tournament tomorrow, don't play this fast. Make sure you take some time. Now we got a back rank threat. Now our opponent is going to try to do this. And he's probably going to have to move his king over again. We're going to move our rook. And then we're going to go here, Jonathan. We're not going to play rook g8. Jonathan, what did I play bishop e5? What's the threat?
So you could play rook c7 check, king moves to the side, and then the rook g8 is going to be mate.
Yeah, that is so mean.
It is mean. Why would you do that?
Very mean. Oh, our opponent's not going to let us have fun. Well, we're going to try this. Did you see that, Mr. Earthquake? Because now, if rook d8, we have rook c7.
Ooh.
All right, good game, good game. All right, we're going to try to find out if there's anybody else
Yeah, Easy Michelle. I don't think we played them yet.
That rating, I think AZ Michelle is sitting on that rating.
Yeah, for sure.
It's just like, it's not possible. It's not possible that you can keep that rating like that. All right, tiny sparkling frog. Sparkly. I said sparkling. No. All right, so we're going to go for another one of these. And Jonathan, we're going to go for the Italian game. All right, so what's with that? All right, we're going to play this. Jonathan, do you remember what's this called again? This move specifically?
Guaco Piano.
Joko Piano. Joko. Like Joe. Okay, we're going to play D4 again. And we've been playing this against a lot of people on the stream many times. And Jonathan, do you remember what this knight C3 move is called? What's this called?
Oh my god.
Molar. Like you're getting your molars taken out. Moeller. We aim to educate on ChessKid. So, our opponent made a mistake that I just want to highlight again. You just got to be careful. You can't just trade when there's no benefit to doing so. You weren't forced to take that. It's a wasted tempo. Okay, so don't. That's one of the mistakes that we've seen quite a lot. So now we're going to go ahead and attack in the center here. So Jonathan, you want a super random comment?
Yes.
Okay. So how do they spell center in English? And if you're from England?
Centre.
Yes, exactly. And that's why you come to this telecast, is to learn some stuff about spelling in English. All right, Sparkly Frog. What are you trying to do to us? All right, Sparkly. That was actually a good move, but we're not gonna grab there. I'm gonna make your knight go back here. And Jonathan, what's gonna happen? What's the downside of the knight going to h6 besides the knight being on the side of the board and being on the rim?
Well, I'm not going to be able to play g6 to stop that bishop.
Yeah.
Because that would be hanging.
Okay. And what do you think? So Jonathan, actually, white has a couple options here. He can take on h6, which I think is obvious, and then queen d2. But I see kind of a little extra cool move. Any ideas? How can we take advantage of this knight being on h6?
Yeah, queen c2, right?
Yeah, queen c2. Nice find. Okay. And Jonathan, why did you see that move? What made you see that?
Well, because I know that it provokes g6, but the knight's hanging, so he can't do that.
Yeah, and unfortunately our opponent didn't even see that it was hanging. So they got in a little bit of trouble here really fast, and now we're up a piece. We're going to go ahead and try to finish off. And Jonathan, if you were, this is not Bughouse, but it's kind of like Bughouse. If you were gonna play an attacking move here for white that would set up a potential mating attack, what would it be? What would the formation be?
Well, I try to get my queen to f6.
Okay, but that's not possible. So how do we reverse that?
Or put my bishop on f6 and my queen on h6.
Exactly. And this is the problem. Jonathan, what do I call this?
The weak color complex.
I have never used that term in my life.
You never.
I have never used that term. No, I have not.
What? It's like a little thing.
What do I call it?
I don't know. Yeah, you do use that, don't you?
No. It's called.
What is it then?
It's a type of cheese.
Well, Swiss cheese.
Swiss cheese, exactly. And see, now this is like brutal to defend because now you see this knight. And when you don't have a dark squared bishop and you've got pawns on these squares, always look for the dark squares, okay? Because Jonathan wants to talk about this color complex nonsense. I just call it Swiss cheese.
That's like the actual term for it.
I just call it Swiss cheese. It's Swiss. There's holes in it. How many other cheeses have holes in it? Exactly. Everything else is a block. It's a block of cheese.
What?
Every other cheese is a block. This is actually what? This has holes in it. Swiss cheese.
Okay.
All right, so we're going to go here, and there's no way to stop checkmate. Tiny Sparkly Frog, your first mistake was taking on c3 too quickly, and then obviously hanging the knight was not a good idea. You got yourself in a little bit of trouble there. But you did castle at least. That was good. All right, we'll have checkmate there. All right, we're going to play. Who else is left? Sparkly Frog, I already played you. I can't play you again. I mean, I could. Leaping Fireman, did we play him yet?
No, I don't think so.
All right, Leaping Fireman, you have been added to the list of people who we can play. Let's go, baby. Come on, Leaper.
What?
Leaping. Leaping does not want to play. Okay, Packers fan. Am I frozen or something?
No.
I'm going to refresh just in case. There we go. Okay, we're going to try. One of these days we're going to play AZM, but we're going to hold off on that for this week. And it won't let us play a game.
You played too much today, probably.
I'm trying to play Packer fan, and I don't even like the Packers.
Yeah.
I like
Maybe they aren't accepting requests or something. I don't know if that's possible.
Maybe. Let's try one more. I'm gonna do a refresh. Packer fan. Well, they're not letting. Something's going on there. We'll try one more. Who didn't we? I don't think we played the Bold Stylish Cake. Bold Stylish Cake, welcome.
All right.
Yes. All right, so we're going to play the French defense.
Okay.
Except it won't let me move.
Reload. Control R.
Come on. What does your screen show?
I'm not on ChessKid. Let me look. Looking at your screen, so. It doesn't say you're online, actually.
Oh, maybe we're having a. Yeah, it won't even let me refresh.
Yeah, it might be your Wi-Fi.
Shocking. Yeah, or my computer froze or something. Disconnect detected. Attempted to reconnect you. Please stand by. Please hold. It won't let me refresh. Maybe I should have quit while I was ahead.
Yeah.
Come
Yeah, I
on.
don't know what's going on here.
Yeah, I don't even see my internet icon, so something happened.
Isn't it that TV thing on the bottom right? That usually tells you if you're.
Yeah, but my computer froze.
Oh, that's not good.
Like I can't. Like the mouse moves, but I can't click on anything. Oh, that it let me click on that.
Yeah, it's lagging.
Well, it says I'm connected. Nidorf is connected.
Maybe turn off your Wi-Fi. Sometimes you have to turn it off and turn it on again.
Well, I think I probably already lagged out and lost, but I think I lagged out against Bold Stylish Cake before. All right, it says it's connected. Uh-oh, what's that?
Your Wi-Fi too. Huh?
I said, what in the world is this?
I don't know.
Well, I definitely lagged. Well, it's still,
Yeah, I don't know what's going on here.
uh-oh. There it went. I lost it. Well, anyway, we're going to end the telecast. So sorry about that, Bold Stylish Cake. We'll try to get you in next time. Just remind me. I'll make sure we play you. And thanks for tuning in today. Jonathan, any final words for everybody? Sorry about that for my internet problems.
If you are interested in playing in tournaments, you should definitely play in the one tomorrow. Sign up now.
I lost 61 points.
Wow.
Oh my gosh.
A couple.
Do you know how long it took to get those points back that I got with the previous
It's
disconnection?
going to take like 5 weeks now.
You lost. It's all in red letters. Gosh. All right. Anyway, thanks for everybody for tuning in. Make sure you play in the Denker and the Barber and the Rockefeller and the Herring qualifiers tomorrow. The registration is available at saschess.org. I want to thank Jonathan for joining us today. And I will be streaming the event tomorrow, as long as my internet doesn't fail. I'll be streaming the event tomorrow and going over some games as they play. And I want to thank Jonathan for joining us today. Great games today. I really thought that people played well, and I see some ratings seem to be creeping up. So that means people are getting stronger. So keep playing and keep practicing, and hopefully I'll see you at the tournament tomorrow online. And that's it for today. Thank you, Jonathan.
Yep.
Yep.